In the next 60 seconds, you will discover why the painful feeling of falling behind in life is not a sign that you are failing, but a signal that your soul is finally waking up. Picture the scene. It's late at night, and the house is quiet. You are scrolling through your phone. A friend's European vacation, a colleague's promotion, someone's child graduating from a top university. And with each image, you feel it. That quiet, familiar tightening in your chest. A shallow breath. The silent, heavy question, what about me? For years, you have been told this is a race. A straight line with milestones you are supposed to hit. Society gave you a map, and you tried your best to follow it. But that ache you feel, that deep, unsettling sense that you are off track, is not your soul admitting defeat. It is your soul declaring war on a race it never agreed to run. Carl Jung knew this feeling well. He did not see it as a crisis to be fixed. He saw it as the sacred, painful, and necessary beginning of your most important journey, the journey of individuation. This video is not another list of tips on how to catch up. This is a new map. A map to help you get off the racetrack entirely. To understand that feeling lost is the first step to finding a path that is truly and beautifully your own. Let's begin. So, you have felt it. That cold sting of comparison. That feeling of being perpetually one step behind. But have you ever stopped to ask, behind what? What is this invisible finish line we are all racing towards? For the first half of our lives, most of us are running on a track built by someone else. It is called the social clock. It is a silent, powerful, and deeply ingrained timeline that our culture hands to us. It tells you when you should graduate, when you should get married, when you should buy a house, when you should have children, and when your career should peak. It is the collective definition of a life lived correctly. And for a long time, running on that track feels right. It feels safe. The milestones are clear, and the approval of others is the reward. But then, something begins to shift. Let's talk about a woman named Sarah. She is 48. She is a wonderful teacher. For 25 years, she has poured her heart into her students. She finds deep meaning in her work. But she recently went to a college reunion. And as her friends talked about their corner offices, their stock options, and their vacation homes, Sarah felt that old, familiar ache. In her heart, she knew her life had value. But on paper, on the world's report card, she felt she had nothing to show for it. She drove home feeling small, invisible, and terribly behind. If Sarah's story touches something in you, you understand the painful truth of midlife. You are experiencing what Carl Jung would call the shattering of the persona's report card. Your persona is the version of you that you built for the world. It is the good daughter, the reliable employee, the supportive wife, the perfect mother. And this persona has a report card. Its grades are not based on your inner peace or your wisdom. Its grades are job titles, the size of your house, the achievements of your children. It is a scorecard for how well you are playing the game of society. For the first half of life, getting good grades on this report card is our primary goal. We build our identity on it. It is a solid foundation. But what happens in midlife is that the foundation begins to feel brittle. You can have straight A's on the persona's report card and still feel empty inside. You can check all the boxes and still feel a profound sense of, is this it? This is not a failure. This is the soul beginning to speak a new language. It is the soul announcing that it runs on a completely different timeline. And this is the core of the conflict. You have spent your life listening to the loud, fast, urgent ticking of the social clock. Tick-tock, get the promotion. Tick-tock, pay off the mortgage. It is the rhythm of the external world. But now, a second clock has started to make itself heard. It is quieter, deeper. It is the soul's timing. It doesn't tick. It beats, like a slow, steady heart. Its rhythm is not about achieving. It is about becoming. It doesn't care about your job title. It cares about your joy. It doesn't care when you get married. It cares how deeply you love. It doesn't care about the size of your house. It cares about the size of your inner world. The deep anxiety of feeling behind is the sound of these two clocks clashing. It is the friction of your entire being caught between two powerful opposing rhythms. The world is shouting at you to run faster, while your soul is whispering for you to stand still. The world is demanding you to build more, while your soul is asking you to simply be. That conflict is exhausting. It feels like you are being pulled in two directions at once. It feels like you are failing at both. But I want to offer you a radical reframe. This painful dissonance, this feeling of being out of step, is not a symptom of your life going wrong. It is the first true, undeniable sign that your soul's life is finally beginning to go right. Your soul is supposed to fall out of step with the world. It is its job. That feeling of being left behind by the crowd is the necessary, painful proof that you are beginning to answer the call of your own unique path. You are not falling off the map. You are discovering that the map you were given was never leading to the place you truly wanted to go. So the question is not how to get back on the old track. The question becomes, what does this new path, this sacred detour, look like? And why does stepping onto it feel so frighteningly alone? That is where our journey takes us next.
So, the old map has failed you. The social clock is no longer your guide. And in the quiet space that follows, there is a feeling that is both terrifying and thrilling. It is the feeling of being truly lost. But what if being lost is the whole point? What if you have to lose sight of the collective highway before you can see the faint, overgrown trail that belongs only to you? Carl Jung had a beautiful name for this journey. He called it individuation. It is not a complicated idea. It is the slow, courageous, and deeply personal process of becoming the person you were born to be before the world told you who you should be. Think of a sculptor standing before a great block of marble. The sculptor's job is not to add anything to the stone. Their job is to chip away everything that is not the statue, to remove the excess, the expectations, the roles, the fears, until the true form, which was hidden inside all along, is finally revealed. This is your work now. You are not building a new self from scratch. You are uncovering the one that has been waiting patiently beneath layers of shoulds and supposed tos. And the feeling of falling behind is the sound of the first pieces of marble beginning to fall away. It is the necessary, messy, and beautiful beginning of your own masterpiece. But we must be honest with each other. This process is not easy. It comes with a profound and often painful cost. It is the pain of being different. For our entire lives, as social creatures, we are programmed to seek safety in the herd, to walk in the same direction, to keep pace with those around us. There is comfort in this. there is validation. When you step off that well-trodden path, you are defying one of our deepest primal instincts. And the first thing you feel is the cold wind of solitude. Your friends may not understand. Your family might worry. They will look at your new direction and ask questions born of love and fear. Why are you changing? Isn't it a bit late to start that? Are you sure you know what you are doing? Their confusion becomes your doubt. The path ahead is not clear. There are no signposts. There are no other footprints to follow. And the voice of your own inner critic, that old companion of the social clock, becomes deafening. It tells you that you are foolish, that you are making a mistake, that you are throwing away a perfectly good life. It screams at you to get back in the race. This is the sacred test of the journey. The loneliness you feel is not a sign that you are on the wrong path. It is the silence that is required to finally hear your own soul. The crowd had to fade away so that you could have the first real conversation of your life, the one with yourself. You see, the goal is not to trade one race for another. The goal is to stop running entirely. This is no longer a race. It is a pilgrimage, a slow, mindful walk into the center of your own being. The collective highway was paved and straight. It was designed for speed. But your soul's path is a winding trail through a forest. It is meant to be walked slowly. It requires you to notice the light filtering through the trees, to feel the earth beneath your feet, to stop and listen to the birds. You cannot rush this journey, because the journey itself is the destination. And here is the most important truth. The person you are becoming on this new path was always inside you. The feeling of being lost is simply your soul's brilliant strategy to make you stop relying on external maps and to start using your own inner compass. The world's GPS has been turned off, so that you can finally look up and navigate by the stars of your own inner sky. So when that old fear creeps in, the fear that you are behind, I want you to gently remind yourself of this. You are not behind. You are going deeper. You are not losing the race. You have left the stadium. You are not lost. You are finally on your way. But how do you begin to read this new map? How do you learn to trust this inner compass when its needle seems to spin so wildly? How do you take the first trembling step on this quiet, solitary trail? That is the art of listening. And that is where our journey takes us next. So, here you are, standing at the edge of the familiar world, on the first steps of a path with no name. The silence is vast. The freedom is overwhelming. And a new question arises, a question that is both gentle and terrifying. Now what? How do you navigate when you have thrown away the old map? How do you learn to trust your own direction when all you have ever known is how to follow? The answer is simpler than you think. It does not begin with a grand plan. It begins with a quiet listening. You already have a compass. You have simply forgotten how to read it. Here are 3 invitations to help you remember. 3 ways to begin the art of following your own soul. The first invitation is the comparison fast. I am not asking you to quit social media forever. This is not a punishment. It is an experiment in quiet. Just for 7 days, I invite you to consciously step away from the main source of your comparison pain. Maybe it is Instagram. Maybe it is that one friend whose life seems perfect. Maybe it is the family newsletter.
Whatever it is for you, give yourself the gift of a 7-day fast from it. Do not announce it. Do not make a grand gesture. Just quietly turn down the volume of the world so you can begin to hear the whisper of your own life. This is not about ignoring others. It is about creating a sacred space to remember yourself, to let the frantic energy of the social clock drain away, and to feel the slow, steady rhythm of your own soul's timing return. It is a simple, radical act of choosing your own peace over the world's noise, just for a little while. The second invitation is to decode your sacred envy. Envy is an emotion we are taught to be ashamed of. It feels petty and small and wrong. But from a Jungian perspective, envy is not a flaw. It is a messenger in disguise. It is your soul using a powerful emotion to point you towards a buried desire. The secret is to understand that you rarely want the exact thing the other person has. You want the feeling or the quality that thing represents. The next time you feel that sharp pang of envy, I want you to pause. Do not judge it. Do not push it away. Get curious about it. Ask it this one powerful question. What is the deeper quality here that my soul is longing for? When you envy your friend's trip to Italy, is it really about Italy? Or is your soul longing for beauty, adventure, and freedom? When you envy a colleague's success, is it really about their job title? Or is your soul longing for mastery, recognition, and purpose? This practice transforms a painful poison into a potent medicine. Envy is no longer a stick to beat yourself with. It becomes a sacred arrow pointing you directly towards the unmet needs of your own heart. It is your inner compass, showing you where to go next. It is not pointing to their life. It is pointing back to your own. And that leads to the third invitation. Follow the breadcrumbs of joy. The world tells you to find your passion. That is a huge, intimidating word. It feels like another mountain to climb, another race to win. Your soul does not speak in mountains. It speaks in breadcrumbs. It speaks in those tiny, seemingly insignificant moments of lightness and joy. The 5 minutes you spend tending to a plant on your windowsill. The feeling you get when you hear a song you loved when you were 20. The quiet satisfaction of reading one chapter of a book before bed. The warmth of the sun on your face during a short walk. These are not distractions. These are the breadcrumbs. They are your soul leaving you a trail. Each one is a clue, a whisper saying, "This way, more of this." Forgetting your great purpose and simply asking yourself each day, what is one small breadcrumb of joy I can follow today? Is the most powerful navigational tool you have. It is how you build a new path, not by leaping across a canyon, but by taking one small joyful step at a time. The path is not found. The path is created, breadcrumb by breadcrumb. These 3 practices, the fast, the decoding, the breadcrumbs, they are not a to-do list to get you ahead. They are the very art of falling behind the world's frantic pace and falling in step with your own. They are ways of listening. And when you listen this way, you begin to build the one thing that no comparison can ever touch: trust in your own sacred journey. We have traveled far together today. From the frantic noise of the collective racetrack to the quiet, winding trail of the soul. We have learned that the ache of comparison and the fear of falling behind are not signs that you are broken. They are the birth pangs of your own unique story. The journey of individuation is not a race to a new finish line. It is the art of unlearning the race altogether. It is the slow, gentle, and sometimes difficult practice of honoring your own pace in a world that is always screaming at you to hurry up. It is the practice of turning toward yourself with the same compassion you have so freely given to everyone else for decades. This is not a journey to find a missing piece. It is a journey to realize you were a masterpiece all along, waiting quietly beneath the noise. The goal is not to have a life that looks impressive from the outside. The goal is to build a life that feels true from the inside. A life measured not in milestones, but in moments of meaning. Your life is not a straight line to be judged. It is a sacred, unrepeatable tapestry to be woven. The detours, the pauses, the moments you felt lost, they are not mistakes. They are the most intricate and beautiful threads in your design. Your path does not need to look like anyone else's to be valid. It is valid simply because it is yours. That is the ultimate destination of this journey. Not a life free from doubt, but a life rich with self-trust. If this message today resonated with that quiet compass inside you, I invite you to make a gentle commitment, not for me, but for yourself. In the comments below, simply write the words, "I am walking my own path." Let it be a quiet declaration, a digital anchor for your intention to honor your own sacred timing. But I must be honest with you. As you bravely walk this path of your own choosing, a new and tender challenge may arise. When you are no longer defined by the world's report card, you might begin to feel a strange sense of invisibility, a feeling that your quiet inner work goes completely unseen. If you are ready to explore that next layer of the journey, I invite you to watch the next video in our series, Feeling Unseen, for the woman who gives so much and feels invisible. In that video, we will discover why the deepest human need is not to be successful, but to be truly seen, and find the tools to reclaim your visibility in a way that feels authentic to your soul. Thank you for sharing this quiet trail with me today. Remember to be gentle with yourself. The path is made by walking, and your pace is the perfect pace. One breath at a time.